Good morning. Today we will be examining the decimal expansions of certain rational numbers. That is, given a rational number, when can we say that that rational number is a terminating decimal expansion or a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion? That is what we observe closely today, and we try to generalize that in the form of a statement. So that is what we are going to discuss. So let us take some rational numbers, and we will see which rational numbers are giving you a terminating decimal expansion and which are giving you a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. And then we observe the numbers or the rational numbers which are giving you a terminating decimal expansions bit closely, and we try to extract a property on that, and then we formalize a statement on that. Suppose say you have some 2 by 5. So what is the decimal expansion for 2 by 5? Also 2 by 25 rather. 2 by 25. So 2 by 25, how do you divide it? So 2 is less than 25. So you put a point. If you put a point, you can take 0. So at one time you can take 1 0. So 20 is still less than 25. So you cannot take one more 0. So you will be taking 0 times of 25. 25 into 0 is 0. 20. Now you have a point, so you can put a 0 over there. Now 25 8s 200. So this is 0.08. Now let's go with some more. Then 5 by 16. So we'll see that. Again, 5 is less than 16, so keep a point. If you keep a point, you can take a 0. 16 3s are 48, so the leftover is 2. You have a point, you can take 0 there. So 16 1s are 16. 4, you have a point, you can take 0. 16 2s are 32. Leftover is 8. 8 is less than 16 again. You have a point, you can take 0. So 16 5s are 80. So this is 0.3125. Next. Next we go with some 7 by 7 by 80. 7 by 80 or rather 7 by 40. You go with that. 7 by 40. So 7 divided by 40. 7 is less than 40. So take a point. 0. Next 41 sir. 40. So you are left with 30. 30 is less than 40. So you can take a 0. 4 7s are 28, which is 280. 20. Put it, you have a point, so you can take 0. 45. So which is 0.175. Now let's go with some 1 by 3. 1 by 3, what do you get? 1 is less than 3, so I am placing a point, so you can take 0. 3 3s are 9. Again you have 1, so again 3 3s are 9. 1, it keeps repeating, so this is 0.3 bar. Let us go with some 2 by 11 or say 3 by 11. You can take 0. 11 2s are 22. So we have 8 here. Point, you can take 0. 11 7s are 77. 3 point is 0. So again 11 2s are 22. 8 0 11 7. So it means that 2727 is continuously repeating. 0.27 but that is what I can write. Now let us examine this, and let us examine these cases. Okay, so instead of going this, first we go with the case of terminating decimals. That is, we are given a rational number, and we can see that these rational numbers are taking the shape of a terminating decimal expansion. Now we see when can a given rational number takes a terminating decimal expansion. Now what I'll do is I'll try to take the prime factorization of the denominators. Now 25, what is the prime factorization? 25, may I say 5 square? The prime factorization is 5 square. And 16, the prime factorization is 2 power 4. And 40, what is the prime factorization? 2 cube into 5. Yes, or say some number 20, some, what do you say, some 27 by 100. 27 by 100, what do you get? 0.27. So what is the prime factorization for 100? 2 square into 5 square. Now do you find any commonality like 25, 16, 40, 100? If you do the prime factorization, if you observe closely, either we are getting 2 as a prime factor, or 5 as a prime factor, or 2 and 5 as a prime factor. Those are the prime factors that we are arriving at. Other than that, we are not getting any prime factors. That is, whenever a rational number is a terminating decimal expansion, you always have 2 and 5 as prime factors, and you will only have 2 and 5 as prime factors. Or you can say it more general, like given a number, given a rational number, if the decimal expansion has either 5 as prime factor, in fact only 5 as prime factor, or only 2 as prime factor, or only 2 and 5 as prime factors, then we can say that that rational number ends up with a terminating decimal expansion. I repeat it again. Given a rational number, if the prime factorization of the denominator contains only 2, only 5, or only 2 and 5 as prime factors, then we can say that the given rational number has a terminating decimal expansion. Now we try to form an equivalent statement of what I have said. Now if you observe closely, here in these cases we have 2 and 5. Now I can also write this as 2 power 4 into 1. Here also 5 power 2 into 1, because 1 into any number gives you the same number. So without loss of generality, I can say that 5 square is same as 5 square into 1, and 2 power 4 is same as 2 power 4 into 1. Now we have this concept, x power 0 is equal to 1. Any number raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Basing on that, I can write this as 2 power 0 and this as 5 power 0. Yes, to any number raised to the power of 0 is 1. Any number raised to the power of 0 is 1. So I have raised 2 to the power of 0, and here 5 raised to the power of 0. That is what I have done. Now if you observe closely, now may I say that the prime factorizations of the denominators are of the form 2 into 5, or 2 power some integer into 5 power some integer. I can say that here you have 2 into 5, here also you have 2 into 5, here also you have 2 into 5, here also you have 2 into 5. So the prime factorization of the denominator is of the form 2 into 5, and their exponents are varying. Here 2 and 5 are being constant. Now the things that are varying are their exponents. So here it is 2, here it is 4, here it is 3, 2, here it is 2, here it is 1, here it is 0. So the powers or the exponents are varying. So whatever that are varying, we are saying it as variable. So let us take a variable to their exponents. So let us say m is the exponent for 2 and n is the exponent for 5. Now we have to specify what kind of variables are they. So may I say that they are some integers? Yes. And what kind of integers? Are all integers? Are we getting negative powers here? Yes or no? Of course no. We are not getting negative powers. We are only getting non-negative powers. If I say only positive, then I should be starting with 1, 2, 3, so on. But we also have 0. Therefore, I will use the word non-negative. So, given any rational number, if the prime factorization is of the form prime factorization of the denominator, here this is your denominator, we are talking about the prime factorizations of the denominators, and the prime factorizations of the denominators, if they are of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers, then we can easily say that that rational number ends up as a terminating decimal expansion. So So that is the observation that we can make. And we also know that any rational number which is not terminating is a non-terminating repeating decimal. That is, if it follows this property, then we can say that that is a terminating decimal. If it doesn't follow this property, we say that that is a non-terminating repeating decimal. The property which we are speaking is the denominator's prime factorization is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. If that is the case, then we say that that is a terminating decimal. If it is not a terminating decimal, then it should surely be a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. That is, if the prime factorization is equal to this, then this is a terminating decimal. If it is not equal to, then this is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal expansion. So that is the observation that we can make. Again I repeat it. Given a rational number, if the prime factorization of the denominator, it can be expressed as 2 power m into 5 power n, then such kind of rational numbers will always ends up as a terminating decimal expansion. If suppose the denominator cannot be expressed in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, then that cannot be ending up with the terminating decimal, or you can rather say that that ends up as a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. For example, say some 3 by 30, 1 by 30. So 1 by 30, if you do the prime factorization for 30, you will have 2 into 3 into 5. Now divide it. 1 divided by 30 point, this is still less than this, so take 0 times, so then 0. Next 33 sir, 90, again 10, this is still less than this, so you take 0 times, we have 10, you have a point, you can take this point, so then this is 33 sir, 90, again you have 10, so it is 0.03 bar, that is, this is a non-terminating repeating decimal. Now if you look into the prime factorization of the denominator, this is not of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, because you also have 3 here, though you have 2 and 5, you also have 3. This prime factorization is not of this form, therefore you are ending up with a non-terminating repeating decimal. So that is it. If it is equal, if the denominator's prime factorization is equivalent to this, we say that that is a terminating decimal. If not, that is a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. Now I will be formalizing the same. Whatever I have said, I will be writing in the form of a statement. That is what you call it as a theorem. So let x is equal to p by q be a rational number now x is a rational number, x is of the form p by q, so x is equal to p by q be a rational number. Now I am assuming that its denominator's prime factorization is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. So let x is equal to p by q be a rational number such that the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. So 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. Now if a rational number is of this kind, that is given a rational number p by q, if the prime factorization of the denominator is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, then we can say that then x has a terminating decimal expansion. So there's the statement that we can make on the observations that we have already marked out. So this is the case when x is a rational number satisfying this condition. The condition is the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, then x has a terminating decimal expansion. Now we can also state the other one, that is if x is equal to p by q be a rational number such that the prime factorization is not of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers, then x has a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. So that is the next statement that you can make on parallel to a terminating decimal. So this one, let me also write that. So that is same as this. So let x is equal to p by q be a rational number such that the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers, then x has a terminating decimal expansion. So now that statement is just similar to it. Prime factorization is not of the form. If the prime factorization is not of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers, then x has a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. So this is the other one which we have concluded on non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. So these are the two statements that we have done, and we will also see one more. Given a terminating decimal, what will be the prime factorization of the denominator? That is just similar to the previous one. So let me also discuss that. Then we move on to some problems, and I'll leave remaining problems as for your homework. For example, say 0.75. So 0.75 is a terminating decimal. Now if you convert that into a rational number, that is 75 by 100 will be same as 3 by 4. And if you look into the prime factorization of 4, it is 2 square. Like the same, if you take any other number of that matter, say 1.25, so this is 125 by 100, so 25 5s, 25 4s, so that is 5 by 2 square. Then so 3.27, so this is 327 by 100. This is the way we will be doing the prime factorizations. In fact, we will be converting a terminating decimal into a p by q form. So this is 327 by 2 square into 5 square. Now if you look into this, given a terminating decimal, if you look into the prime factorizations of the denominator, again it is following the same. That is, either the prime factors are 2 or 5, or both 2 and 5. You can also write this as 5 power 0 and this is 5 power 0. So again you can come to a generalization that the denominator has a prime factorization of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. That is, given a terminating decimal, that can always be expressed in the form of p by q, and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. So that is what one more statement that we can make. So I'll be writing the same. let x be a or you can write like this, let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Let x be a x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. So given a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates, we can convert that into p by q form. Then x can be expressed, then x can be expressed in p by q where then x can be expressed in p by q where p by q and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power m, where m comma n are non-negative integers. So this is what you can conclude. That is, given a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates, then that number can be expressed in the form of p by q, and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. So whenever you are given a terminating decimal, you can always express that in the form of p by q, and the prime factorization of q will always be of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. So whenever you are specifying some variables, you have to specify what kind of numbers the variable takes. So here m and n are non-negative integers. That is what I have made a specification over there. So that is it all about the concept that I have explained. Now let me also move on to some of the problems that I have posted in your worksheet. So I will not be dealing with all the problems, just to give you a fair idea of how to solve them. I will be doing one or two, so that basing on the same lines you will be doing the remaining problems. So look in the fifth Roman. Write the denominator of the rational numbers in the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. Hence write the decimal expansions without actual division. That is, you are given a rational number 3 by 8. Now you have to write the prime factorization of the denominator. So let us write the prime factorization of 8. What is the prime factorization of 8? 2 cube. And since we are being told to write in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, I have written 8 as 2 power 3 into 5 power 0, because the actual prime factorization is 2 power 3. Now this you can write it as 2 power 3 into 5 power 0, because 2 power 3 you can write it as 2 power 3 into 1, and that 1 can be written as 5 power 0. So I have taken the denominator and I have written the, or you can also do it separately. So you can also do it separately, no? So 3 by 8, it is 3 by 2 cube, or you can write also 8 is equal to 3 cube, that is the prime factorization, which you can also write it as 2 cube into 5 power 0. So initially you can write that. Next they have asked you to convert that into decimal expansion without actually dividing. So 3 by 8 is 3 by 2 cube. Now we need to convert that into its corresponding decimal expansion. So in order to do that, here you have 2 but you don't have 5. So what you do is, you write those many 5s as many as there are 2s. Here there are 3 2s, so I will write 3 5s. To compensate that, I'll also write the same 5 in the numerator. So this is 3 into 5 cube is 125 and 5 into 2 is 10, it will be 10 cube. 10 cube is 1000. Now 3 into 125 gives you 375 by 1000. Now you know how to convert that into decimal expansion. 3 zeros, so put a decimal point before 3 digit counting from right to left. So 1, 2, 3, put a point, 0.375. So that is the way we go about. Let me also do 2 or 3 problems so that you will have a fair idea. 13 by 125. So this is your denominator. Take the prime factorization. So this is 5 cube. Now since they told you to write that prime factorization in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, I'll write this as 2 power 0 into 5 power 3. So that suffices the first part of the question. Now look into the second part. We need to find the decimal expansion without actually dividing. So 13 by 5 cube. Now the aim here is you have to equate the number of 2's with number of 5's. If there are some deficiencies, you try to compensate. So here you have 5's. There are 3 2's deficient. So put 3 2's here. So the number of 2's you are taking over here, the same number of 2's should be taken on the numerator so that the equation holds. So this is 13 into 2 cube is 8, 5 2's are 10, 10 cube is 1000. So 13 into 8, 13 into 8, 8 is 24, 2, 8 1's are 8, 9, 10. So this is 104 by 1000. Now 3 zeros, so put a decimal point before 3 digits counting from right to left. So 1, 2, 3, so point should be here, that is what I meant. So that is the case. So the simple idea is you have to identify the number of deficient 2's or deficient 5's and compensate the same. Here there are 3 2's deficient, so I have compensated by keeping 3 2's in the numerator and 3 2's in the denominator so that the equation holds. If you only keep here, then the equation does not hold. So that is the reason whatever that you are placing over here, place the same over here so that this equation holds. Okay. So let me also do the third one. 7 by 80. So do the prime factorization for 80. So prime factorization for 80. 240 sir, 220 sir, 210 sir, 25 sir. So which is 2 power 4 into 5. Now, so this is already in the form a power m into, so 2 power m into 5 power n. So we need not do anything. Now we need to convert that into decimal expansion. So 7 by 2 power 4 into 5 power 1. Now here you have 4 2's, but you have only 1 5. So 3 5's are deficient. So what you will do is you write 3 5's. So now this is 5 into 5 cube is 125 and this is 2 power 4 into 5 power 4. Now simplify that. 7 into 125. 7 5's are 35, 3, 7 2's are 14, 14 plus 3 is 17, 1, 875. So this is 875 by 5 2's are 10, 10 power 4 is 10,000. So count the digits from right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, you put a point over here. So 0.0875. So this is the way to go about. Now look into 6th one. What can you say about the prime factorizations of the denominators? In that, look into C. 43.123456789. Now this is a terminating decimal. So whenever you have a terminating decimal, what can you say about the prime factorization of the denominator? You can say that the prime factorization of the denominator will be of the form 2 power m into 5 power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. Now if you look into D, it is 43.123456789 bar. So this is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. So what can you say about the prime factorization of the denominator? You can say that the prime factorization of the denominator is not of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. That is the way you can conclude. Next. 7th one. Without actually performing, state whether the following rational number will have a terminating decimal expansion or a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. Also find the number of zeros Also find the number of places of decimals after which the decimal expansion terminates. Okay. So 17 by 8. Now look here. So we have to identify whether this is a terminating decimal or a non-terminating repeating decimal. That you can do it by doing the prime factorization of the denominator. So if you do the prime factorization of the denominator, it is 2 cube. Now 2 cube you can also write into 5 power 0. Now the prime factorization of the denominator is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. 2 power m into 5 power n. If the prime factorization is of such form, then you can conclude as per the theorem that it is a terminating decimal expansion. That is the first part of the question, whether it is a terminating decimal or a non-terminating repeating decimal. Now the second part is, after how many decimal after how many decimal places it terminates. That is, I suppose you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.234. Now this is a number which is terminating after 3 decimal places. So they are asking you, without actually dividing, we have to say after how many decimal places it terminates. Now that all depends upon what is the highest power of these two factors. Now here the highest power of these two factors is 3. Therefore this decimal expansion terminates after 3 decimal places. That is what you write. So this decimal expansion terminates after 3 decimal places. If suppose say, look at this next one, 64 by 455. So 455, do the prime factorization. 5 9s are 45, 5 1s are 5, and 13 7s are. So this is 64 by 5 into 13 into 7. Now this is not of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. Therefore this is a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. So we need not consider about this. Let us go with 15 by 1600. So 1600 prime factorization. What do you get? 2 4s, or in fact 2 8s, 2 4s, 2 2s, then 200s, then 100, 2 50s, 2 25s, 5 5s. So what do you get? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is 2 power 6 into 5 square 15. If you want to cancel it, you can cancel out. There is no issue. That is, you can 15 you can write it as 3 into 5 and 2 power 6 into 5 square. And here 1 5 and here out of 2 5s 1 5 they gets cancelled. You will be left over with 3 by 2 power 6 into 5. Now still the prime factorization of the denominator is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. Therefore this is a terminating decimal. Now we have to say after how many decimal places it terminates. Here the highest power is 6, therefore it terminates after 6 decimal places. So that is the way we conclude. Now it is better that you do the prime factorization for both numerator and denominator, because sometimes if suppose there is a number whose prime factorization is like 13 into 7. But if you look into this, if you don't do a prime factorization, for suppose say the number is some x and you have done the prime factorization and you have a prime factorization like 5 into 13 into 7. Now you will be tempted to write like this number is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. But if this number has a prime factorization 13 into 7, then these two they gets cancelled. Now this will be 1 by 5. 1 by 5 you can write it as 1 by 5 into 2 power 0. Now this is of the form 2 power m into 5 power n. This ends up as a terminating decimal expansion. So better you do the prime factorization for both numerator and denominator, and wherever cancellations are possible, do it so that you will have a clear-cut idea without any ambiguity that the given number is either a terminating decimal expansion or a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. So that is it all about today's discussion. Thank you.